So now you've prepared all the vegetables ready for your pasty, you're going to then cook them all together. And we're going to do this as a dry method to start off with, and then we're going to add some water just to help it cook quicker. So we're going to take the onions, put first of all your pan on and allow that to heat up, and put the oil into the pan. Just going to do a tablespoonful of oil. The first thing we're going to put in there is the onions, carrots and the potatoes. So you can just get those off your chopping board that you've already diced and prepared. You're then going to get a wooden spoon, and we're just going to start cooking those and stirring those. And with the natural sugars in those vegetables, once the water from the vegetables has heated and evaporated slightly, the sugars will start to caramelise, and that caramelisation that occurs will brown the vegetables. We don't want the vegetables turning too brown. A little bit of colour is okay. So I'm going to start by just starting off that caramelisation process, which makes this, give it that nice sweet flavour, which is the desired flavour for your pasties. I'm going to let that just fry on a high heat, and to that I'm just going to add a teaspoon, so I'll just use this, a teaspoon of some cumin seeds. I'm going to add a bit of pepper, and I'm going to add some salt. Probably a teaspoon of each of those will be fine. And that just gives it a little bit of flavour. I'm going to continually stir this, because if I don't stir it, it's going to burn on the bottom. And as I've said, I don't want these vegetables browning too much, and I don't want a burnt bottom on my pan, because when I wash up, it's going to be a nightmare to wash up. So I'm just going to start that caramelisation process off by stirring it continually so it doesn't catch on the bottom. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of water to this, and add more, actually probably add 4 to this amount. It depends on how many vegetables you've got. You don't want it too wet, but what you're doing is you're just making, so there's some moisture in there which causes this vapour, and then I'm going to add the lid. That will create a steam in there, and the steam will make those vegetables cook quicker, and also it means that they won't be catching on the bottom. You can leave it there. When it started boiling like this, give it a stir. Okay, as I said, you don't want this too wet, so only a little bit of water like that, because you don't want a really wet mixture, because this is going to go into your pasties, and if it's too wet, it's just going to make your pasties really soggy. If there is a lot of water left at the end of cooking this, what you can do is just drain it, but you're going to leave that to cook and keep going back and stirring that. Then at the end of the cooking, you're going to cook that for about 8 to 10 minutes, and at the end just leave the pan lid off, and then what that will do is that a vapour will escape, and then that liquid will reduce. But we're just aiming not to have the vegetables burning on the bottom of the pan. And then you can test that it's cooked by using your knife and just push that into the potatoes, and they need to be just not completely soft, but obviously when you put your knife in there, they're not going to feel like they're raw. And then when you've finished, just put it to the side. Then you're going to add your cheese, and then once you've added the cheese, and it's cooled down a little bit, you can then add that to your pasties. Okay.